Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of Midnight Mysteries, a series that'll cover dark, strange, and disturbing mysteries. I'm your host, Scenic Midnight. Let's delve in. In honor of Halloween in the month of October, the next few episodes will involve mysteries that occurred on or related to the horrifying holiday. So please, sit back and enjoy the mysterious disappearance of David Stone. David Stone was a 29-year-old single man and a very successful stock market analyst from La Jolla, California. David was also deep into the New Age movement. The New Age movement is a spiritual and religious movement that rapidly grew in the UK during the 70s, then expanded and grew largely in the 80s and 90s, especially in America. The New Age movement lives on the idea of the individual and their experiences being the primary source of authority on spiritual matters. New Age also teaches that there is no one true way to seek spirituality and that it's up to the individual to combine life experiences and their own worldview to their spiritual self. The New Age movement is what David Stone turned to when he sought out spiritual guidance for his anger issues that followed him through his life. October 28th, 1988. David hosted a party for his friends and family at his California apartment. Sometime during the evening, David and one of his friends got into a heated argument, and David's anger got the best of him. He began violently attacking his friend, hitting him multiple times. After realizing what he had done, David told his friends and family that he needed to go on a walk to reflect on his actions, and that he would return in a few days. October 31st, 1988. The morning of Halloween, Deputy Sheriff Bill Cavalier, who was the investigating officer for David Stone, reported that David was seen walking in the desert almost 150 miles east of Tucson, Arizona. A farmer living in rural New Mexico spotted David walking down a dirt road early in the morning. The farmer, intrigued by David, as it was rare for the tourist to be out this far in rural New Mexico, briefly chatted with David. David told the farmer that he was searching for the beast before continuing into the desert. More reports came in from local residents seeing David wandering around the desert, talking to himself, acting strange, and walking through dangerous terrain. November 5th, 1988. 9 days after David's outburst and disappearance, his car was found abandoned along Highway 80 in New Mexico. His family believed he was on a vision quest to learn more about himself. This is a very common practice in the New Age movement. Later, investigators discovered several mysterious clues left by David. The clues left by David seemed to be linked to the New Age movement. The first clue was that David's car was left near some pyramid-shaped mountains, pyramids being important symbols in the New Age movement. Following David's trail, it led investigators towards Granite Peak, just northwest and a few miles from his car. There, investigators found a pyramid of rocks surrounded by a triangle in the dirt. On day 2 of the search for David, investigators discovered another rock pyramid along with his watch and 2 quarters placed next to the pyramid. Following his trail, it led the investigators 3 miles north, where they found a string of numbers written in the sand. Realizing the numbers were Fibonacci ones. The way these numbers work is by adding the previous number in the sequence to the next, such as 1 plus 0 equals 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5, and so on. These numbers were often used by stock market analysts. However, instead of placing 21 at the end of the sequence, he chose the number 18. Investigators believe it was a coded message relating to mile marker 18 on Highway 80, where David's car was left abandoned. Continuing their search using bloodhounds, they tracked David's scent back to Highway 80 and the intersection of Interstate 10, 13 miles north of David's car. The trail went cold there. During the search, David's family went through his car for any more clues and uncovered a pocket-sized Bible with a business card inside that belonged to a man named Tony Ballesteros. But after police interrogated him, they found no connection. The last notable thing David's parents found was a strange note that read, "They think the word is in the safe. 6 knives in Rob's room. Use buy your tea and use take your chances. Halloween." Halloween was the day David vanished, and to this day, no one knows what happened to him or what made him act so strange. February 23rd, 1992. David's body was discovered by 2 hikers near Granite Gap in the desert of New Mexico. Although only a skeleton remained, medical records confirmed it was David Stone. Police were unable to identify the cause of death, and a medical examiner chalked up his death to dehydration and prolonged exposure to the outdoors. Sadly, we may never get the full story of David's disappearance and death. It will remain a truly strange mystery. This has been Midnight Mysteries with Scenic Midnight. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.